know, every time that we celebrated Christmas, New Year, he would always toast that next year we're going to be in Paraguay. It never happened. Over and over and over for over 35 years. That was his toast.
In today's Globe at Home, we are joined by a woman whose voice you just heard and whose life story is quite remarkable. She is the daughter of one of Paraguay's most well-known dissidents. Joining us now is Teresa Mendez Faith and Globe writer Russell Contreras. Thank you both for joining us.
How are you doing?
Hi, thank you.
Teresa, you were in Paraguay last month when the dictator, who was so very cruel to your family, died, right?
Yes, I was there.
Tell us more about the dictator and how he really altered the course of your family's lives.
Well, the memories I have of General Stroessner are pretty sad and pretty bad. I was very young, around 10 years old, when my father was sent to Spain with a diplomatic mission, they said. And at that time, I was very happy and hopeful that our country was at the verge of reaching a new democracy again after a coup d'etat in the previous year. However, things changed dramatically and very fast. We had to come back to Paraguay. My grandfather was sick, but we realized right when we reached Brazil that the history has changed for my family. My father was told he was not allowed back in Paraguay, and that's when his very long exile started in '56. My family went to Paraguay, and then after that, finished elementary school, grade school, and decided to join my father in Uruguay. So since 1959, I left the country, and ever since there, the stories of what horrors were happening in Paraguay, tortures, persecutions, death, disappearances. It's just over and over, one after more and more, thousands, millions, in fact, about 2 million were banished from the country, and about 1,000 were persecuted and died. So memories I have of Alfredo Stroessner are not happy. Happiness started 2 weeks ago when finally I think closure starting to start in my heart and in our lives, family lives.
Teresa, talk about how people in Paraguay reacted to the dictator's passing. You were there in the capital. What was the reaction to people there?
I was there, and the reaction was pretty mixed. There were no shows of overwhelmed happiness or sadness. There was just like silence in a way. Perhaps people were still afraid to speak up their minds. There were some hidden, not hidden, but the word that I'm trying to say is some personal party celebrations, and I was part of one of them, celebrating the death of a person that was called by our main writers a tyrannosaurio. He caused the death and persecution, and he caused so much suffering in so many families, and whole Paraguay suffered because of that. Our culture was destroyed, and it's finally reviving and is showing signs of being reborn.
Now, your father was a democratic leader for many years in Uruguay and later Argentina, talking about Paraguay and everything. He passed away in 1984, correct?
1985.
Yeah, and he eventually returned to Paraguay in 2004 when the government allowed him to be buried. Describe the reaction of people when he came back, that caravan.
Well, if we want to make a contrast between what happened, the silence that happened 2 weeks ago, and my father, it was just, it looks like the whole country was a party, a continual party. For 3 days in a row, my father was brought from Buenos Aires to Asunción by land in a caravan, and many people accompanied him all the way through land, and there were stops and celebrations in many cities alongside the route once he started in Paraguay, in Encarnación, coming to Asunción. When he got to Asunción, he was received like a hero, I would say. And that was the first time I was really happy for him.
And we just saw some of those pictures, and certainly it was a moving, beautiful tribute to your father. If your father were alive today, what do you think he would think of Paraguay now?
I think, honestly, he would have his heart broken. He would be very devastated and very sad that this has happened. In the 48 years that he was away from the country, things have changed much, much to the worst. And hopefully, maybe 5-10 years from now, I'm just hoping for my country that things will be better.
All right, and we have just a yes or no. Do you ever think about moving back to Paraguay yourself?
I thought of yes, but no.
No, okay. Well, we're glad you're here in Bedford, Massachusetts. Again, a note to all of the viewers, you can watch the audio slideshow of this story by logging on to boston.com. A very moving story. Thank you both so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Now, NECN